Good evening. The time is now 7 p.m. I'd like to call the special town meeting to order and ask that the town clerk please read the warning.
The electors and citizens qualified to vote at town meetings in the town of Plainfield are hereby warned to meet at Plainfield Town Hall, 8 Community Avenue, Plainfield, Connecticut, on Monday, September 16, 2024, at 7 p.m. for the following purpose. To approve or request. To approve or reject proposed ordinance number 141, an ordinance concerning the pension board. 2. To approve or request. To approve or reject proposed ordinance number 142, an ordinance concerning repealing certain town ordinances. Dated at Plainfield, Connecticut, this 27th day of August, 2024, Kevin M. Cunningham, First Selectman, Arthur W. Gagny, Selectman, Peggy Borey, Selectman.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to open the floor for nominations for moderator.
I'd like to nominate Kevin Cunningham.
Second.
Any other nominations for moderator?
Make a motion to close nominations.
I'll second that.
All in favor of closing nominations, please raise your hand. All opposed, please raise your hand. Abstain? Okay, motion passes. I would go through the process of explaining what the reason for each vote was. We did have on July 15th, for those people who were in attendance, we had a July 15th public hearing on all of these. I can do this very briefly so it helps you understand what we're looking for. The history of the pension board was established back in 1970. It was Ordinance 26. There wasn't much in there, honestly. There was a establish, and administer, and maintain a retirement plan for the paid employees of the town. That's pretty much it. So the definitions needed to be expanded because over the time, you have to make modifications via the ordinance to make changes. Instead, it was Board of Selectmen meetings which made changes, and that's not appropriate. I'll give you the example of that. So in 1992, on June 30th, the Board of Selectmen voted to adopt a pension board, 2 members of the Board of Selectmen, Board of Education Chair, Superintendent of Schools, and the Board of Finance Chairman. Unfortunately, in October of 2006, just to clarify, at that time, the composition of the membership was determined that the superintendent position may be held by an outside person from the outside of the town of Plainfield. And that's what exactly was happening at the time. So the Board of Selectmen voted to say, well, let's have 3 members of the Board of Selectmen, Board of Education Chair, Board of Finance Chair. Once again, you cannot make changes to an ordinance unless you actually modify the ordinance. That's why we're doing this now. For those who have a copy, there were copies in the back, a few of them anyway. They were also online, and they were available in the town clerk's office. But it gives definition, purpose, authority, definition as to what a ordinance modification is for the concerning the pension board. If you so approve, it would be amending Ordinance 26. And now I'll get into the other one, the ordinance that talks about deleting or repealing a large number of ordinances all at one shot. Following town ordinances be suspended by the town charter of the town of Plainfield, and the hereby repealing Ordinance 4, 13, 23. We wrote down 26, but we can't do it because we're modifying 26, so we can't repeal that. Ordinance 53, 62, 63, 64, 65, 68, 85, and 93. I'm usually asked the question of why would you repeal all of those at this day and age. A lot of them, I should say all of them, have no meaning. I'll give you an example of Ordinance number 4. Back in 1935, they voted to allow the sale of alcohol with meals in hotels, restaurants, and clubs on Sundays between 12 and noon and 9 o'clock in the evening. So your sale of alcohol has always been taken, those issues have been taken forth by the state of Connecticut. So that obviously has no bearing and no meaning anymore. And same thing with trailers and trailer parks. We talked about that at a selectmen's meeting, trying to figure out why we haven't been paid by the trailer parks. And that's because the state of Connecticut took that over. And
Which number is that one?
that one is Ordinance 13. Ordinance 23, appropriation to change the uniform fiscal year to payments of taxes. We've already made a modification to that in Ordinance number 74. One we talked about just a little while ago, Ordinance 26, that's the one where we can't repeal it. So I would ask that if you make a motion to approve that, this one, we would definitely do it with minus Ordinance number 26. Ordinance 53, payment to the town of Plainfield General Fund by the Connecticut Yankee Greyhound Racing. Unless you know where they are right now. Solar energy heating and cooling system is ordinance number 62. We've checked with the tax assessor on 62. It's no longer valid. Ordinance number 63, exemption of property taxes on, again, solar energy installed by the operation of for private residential use. That's no longer valid. 64, property tax exemption for God's Gift House, Inc. No longer valid. 65, ordinance related to the installation of fire hydrants. That is no longer valid because, and I'll tell you why on that one. We did talk about this in the public hearing, but this is specifically listed to a village. We don't have control over fire hydrants. Each of the fire departments do. Therefore, it's no longer valid.
By addition.
68 is property taxes due to the town of Plainfield by Central Assembly of God. 85, creating the Northeastern Connecticut Regional Resource Recovery Authority. That's through NECOG, and they don't have that anymore, so it's no longer valid. 93, installation of fire hydrants. Again, that is by Central Village's Fire Department. We don't have control over those. That's your list.
Kevin, could you repeat the solar one?
Which solar? There were two.
Both of them.
So that's it. You weren't here at that public hearing, were you? All right, here we go. Ordinance 62, authorizing exemption from the property taxes for a building which is equipped with solar energy heating or cooling system.
Okay, so that means what? As it stands right now, what does that actually mean?
And these, at this point, the town tax assessor said these are no longer valid.
But I'm saying, the solar panels on my house, let's say.
Again, that's the next one. And the next one would be 63, ordinance authorizing exemption from property tax for any solar energy, electricity installed in the generation of electricity for private residential use. So that was something else that is no longer valid for the state of Connecticut. That's why the assessor said we can't use that as an ordinance.
Oh, because the state took it over?
So all these that are on here are now,
Sunset. They're sunsetting because they're no longer valid.
they're no longer valid at all, so we're not replacing them either.
Correct.
So I can make a motion to remove number 26 from the repealed ordinance.
So is your motion then to,
Well, you said to take 26 off.
okay, so take 26 out.
Yeah.
So we have a motion on the floor to take 26 out of that list. We have a second. Nelson, thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. So to go forward, we'd have to either do, which is up to you, we either do a ballot or we do it by hand count. For this large gathering, it is up to you.
I make a motion to do a hand count.
I have a motion on the floor. Nelson, you just second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. In that case, why don't we go through and do them one at a time? That makes it much easier. Item number 1. We'll do this by hand count, please, and for those who are counting. If you are approving, if you will do so by raising your hand, approve the proposed ordinance 141, which is the pension board. Please raise your hand if you're approving.
If you approved it, if there's no-
Did you count them?
I counted them.
Yeah. You did? Okay, 11 here.
Thank you.
14.
All against? 1.
Did you get that, Sonia?
Thank you for that. So now it was 25.
Sonia asked me.
It was,
We got nothing.
all right, so that was the first question, and your total, again, was for the positive was 25 total, 14 and 11. Thank you. Second question, shall the town of Plainfield approve ordinance number 142 minus number 26? All in favor say aye.
No.
Oh, sorry, raise your hands again, we're all right here.
11.
16.
27 total. All opposed, raise your hand. 0. Both passed. I want to thank you all for coming out tonight. I know it's a short meeting, but I do appreciate the fact you come out and be part of government. Thank you. Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion and a second. Motion, Art, second. Good. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.